Hi guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be analyzing for stocks, two oil companies and two aviation companies. So Total, ExxonMobil, Deutsche Lufthansa and Boeing. We'll be reviewing our previous forecast. We will see where we are and where we might move over the next weeks and months. Also, please subscribe to our Patreon community. You will find the link beneath the YouTube videos. Also, like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment. Let's start our analysis with the Total on a daily basis, which means every candle is a daily one. As you can see here in the upper part of the chart, we see the price enveloped between two triangular moving average. Also beneath, so in the lower section, we see a cyclical indicator. It's a stochastic RSI changed based on the average cyclicity for the companies that we are going to analyze. So in my previous analysis, I've been quite direct, stating that for all the companies that we are going to analyze, I was and I am strongly bearish. I already gave some price prediction early in May, June and July, and actually what is happening is that the price for the four companies are moving into my direction. So what we see here is that actually for Total we are inside now a bearish movement, okay, and my very first target for Total is something around 18 and 20 euro. So after having broken below the 30 euro area, I have the projection given by the difference between 30 and the horizontal resistance at around 40. So 30 minus 10 give us a 20 euro as a very first target. Okay, so also in terms of cyclicity, we see that while the orange curve is horizontal, the blue one is oriented downwards. As you can see here, Total is a kind of company, is a kind of asset which tends to move in a cycles, okay? And obviously the cycles cannot be perfect symmetrical, so the ascending phase is oftentimes different from the ascending phase in terms of amplitude, in terms of length. Yet what we see here is that it tends to be very cyclical, okay? So right now we should be expecting the continuation of the movement downwards. Let's switch to the weekly chart in order to have a better idea of where we are and where we might see, okay, Total moving over the next weeks, okay? So when I gave my prediction around 20 euro, actually it was here. You can and please encourage you to check out my YouTube videos where when Total was worthy 35 euro, I was suggesting not to add into longs while shorting Total, or at least waiting the 18-20 area before buying. I do believe 18 or 20 area or 20 euro is a good area from where we could start watching more closely Total. If we want to be safe, even more safe, then we might wait till 15-16 area if Total will be hitting that area. So where the lower band passes by is 22, okay, 22.9, but we might see some movement like this, some long black candle breaking below the lower band. Then what we need before buying Total is to see an increase in terms of volumes like it happened here, which means a point of control. Even for the cyclical indicator, while as exactly like in the daily chart, we see both the curves moving downwards. Okay, so we are fully bearish for Total. Let's keep our position. The bearish movement is not over yet. The long-term trend is really negative right now, so there are no reason to start buying Total at those levels. Again, let's wait 18-20 euro at least before buying Total. Now let's move on. Let's analyze ExxonMobil. Please, before watching my analysis about ExxonMobil, I really encourage you to go and check my previous video. You can check on my channel ExxonMobil, and you can see what I was suggesting you over in June and July. And as I always say, it's too easy to say something when something is happening, while it's quite more difficult to forecast the future. Okay, forecasting the future is always about probabilities, but let me tell you that is more about the experience that you have acquired over the years. I have 20 years of experience in trading markets, and sometimes it's not only about trading, but it's about feeling. So you have to make a lot of considerations. You have to understand what is happening in terms of indexes. You have to understand what is happening in terms of the sector where the company is moving. There are so many factors that you should take into consideration. Okay, so what we see here, this is the daily chart for ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil was extremely bearish, and actually, as you can see here, we see a long strike of long black candles. Now we see for the first time, an increase in terms of volumes. If you want to be, let's say, sure about ExxonMobil before buying, I would be waiting at least this area, okay, $25, yes, US dollar for ExxonMobil, before buying. Okay, the cycle is now positive for the stochastic RSI, but if we can project, okay, the two curves crossing below each other and actually turning down, then we can see ExxonMobil moving even more down. So I really believe it's quite premature right now buying ExxonMobil, as you can see here, even in terms of cycle. Okay, you can check again my prediction when we have experienced this movement up. I was quite confident that that was just a rebound for the beginning of a very strong bearish scenario, which actually is happening right now. So let's see if we will register a double bottom, or like I think we will see some other candle breaking below this area. Okay, again, it's too early to enter and buy ExxonMobil right now. Let's wait. We need more volumes coming in place. We need a point of control, an increase in terms of volume. We need a unique volume much higher than the previous ones, and then we can, using, for example, the monetary flow index, we can understand if we are experiencing the fake breakout or if actually it's a real breakout. Okay, so right now I do suggest you not to buy ExxonMobil. It's too early. I do believe the bearish scenario, the bearish momentum is not over yet at all. So let's keep a close eye on, and let's avoid to rush into buying right now ExxonMobil. Okay, in terms of fundamental analysis, right now ExxonMobil will be starting to be interesting, yet we are still not in a safe area from where we could buy ExxonMobil with confidence. Okay, so stay aside. This is my suggestion, and of course it's my personal suggestion. Okay, you will do what you want to do. I'm not telling you to sell short ExxonMobil. I'm not telling you to buy ExxonMobil. I'm just telling you what I see and what I can suggest you, considering my long-term experience. Okay, now let's move on and let's analyze Boeing. For Boeing, there is something quite interesting. Okay, I remember one comment from one guy. Actually, he clearly wrote, you will never see Boeing hitting 100 US dollar in your life. Okay, at the time Boeing was around here. It was in June, so Boeing was retracing from the strong downtrend. So let's say that there is this sort of bet between me and this guy, and I'm quite confident that I'm going to win easily the bet, because we're going to see Boeing hitting 100 US dollar and even less over the next month. So what we see here in terms of price action, we're moving horizontally, but if we break below this very first area at 150 with confidence within some long black candle like this one, then we're going immediately to retest okay, this area around 80 US dollar. In terms of cycles, the pattern, the rhythm is quite regular, with the exception of this momentum, prolonged momentum. So we see that the blue curve is oriented downwards, even the orange one. So let's keep an eye on. We see 4 consecutive long black candles. It's quite dangerous right now. Right now, buying Boeing, if we don't see enough volumes coming in place, what we see here is a reducing in terms of volumes. I will never buy Boeing right now. It will be too risky. Okay, a safer area from where do believe we might buy Boeing is this area. Now let's switch to the weekly chart in order to have a better idea of where we might position ourselves. Okay, as you can see here now, the two bands are horizontally oriented, but we see a long black candle. So let's wait in information. Let's wait Friday's closure. Okay, and the lower band passes by around $80. I do believe we might see even this area tested over the next months. Okay, now here in terms of cycle, we are in an uptrend in terms of cycle, but again, not in terms of trend. Cycles and trends are two completely different things. So extremely careful with Boeing as well. And now let's come back and let's analyze Deutsche Lufthansa. With Deutsche Lufthansa, actually I've been quite precisely hitting my targets. Again, when we have experienced this retrace to hit the upper band there, I was extremely bearish. So from 11 euro, what we see here is that now we are at 7 euro. My target, and in order to understand my target, we have to switch to the weekly chart, is a very extremely bearish one. Okay, it's even better to switch to the monthly chart, because from the monthly chart we will see where actually Deutsche Lufthansa might move over the next months. Okay, the scenario here is a very bad one. Okay, if we break with a monthly candle below the 8 euro, okay, we are right now at 7.20, but if we see a closure below the 8 euro and okay, a new beginning of November below 8 euro, then the situation for Deutsche Lufthansa will be dramatic. We are going to definitely hitting the 1 euro area over 2021 and 2022. The cycles are in an oversold area, which means we might see a rebound. We have huge volumes, but with a reversal pinball, which is negative signal. Let's not be confused by seeing the two curves in the oversold area, because this is a negative signal right now, even if I've thought that when an asset moves in a range, if we have something oversold, then we might buy. Okay, but before buying, we need to see a long white candle at least till this area, 12 euro. Okay, if between November and December we see a long white candle, okay, around 12 euro, then we might want to buy Lufthansa, and I will be waiting to see the two curves breaking above the oversold area. Okay, right now it's still too risky. The downside momentum is not over yet, and I will never buy right now Lufthansa, because under a mere technical point of view, this chart is quite a disaster. Okay, guys, please, if you want to receive personalized trading signals, if you want to chat with me, if you want to ask for any kind of suggestions, take into consideration to join the Patreon community and link to one of my 2 tiers. Thank you, guys.